Hey guys, today in the game I saw there's so many new events and summoners were, so let's talk about them to see if they're actually really good. So this is gonna be to celebrate the global service 11th anniversary, and the first one is gonna be a lot of free summon. So for 5 weeks you'll be getting 11 summon for free every single week, and you get 10 free summon for Water Wind Fire, so mystical scroll I guess, and there's gonna be 1 free LD summon. And with this event, they're also introducing the 11th anniversary special summon. So this will remind you of last year SWC scroll. That was kind of a scam. Anyway, you get to choose the 4-star including LD, and you get to choose the 5-star including LD as well. They're literally putting Lucifer and Gianna in the example. Wait, those are my LD5. But anyway, you can put the things that you want in the banner. So this is going to be very similar as well to the 7-year special scroll. So this is going to be very good for skilling up the 4-star unit that you really want, or trying to get the missing LD 4-star that you really want. I'm gonna go and check if I miss any LD 4-star, and a lot of people really want the best defense breaker. You can see on they really know what they're doing with the photo right there. They have the best light AoE damage for 4-star, and then they have the best AoE defense breaker for 4-star as well. So pretty much every single week you get 11 free summon. Not too crazy. I would say this is like a 5 LD scroll for free kind of event in the middle of the year. Next up, we have the special shop event. We are ending our current shop event so that they can open the new shop event. Pretty much gonna be the same event. You're gonna play the game a whole lot to collect the 11-year emblem, and you're gonna be able to buy a whole lot of stuff. 3 legendary scroll, 1 Devilmon, and 50 11-year special scroll. And there's also the global service shop that you're gonna get a skin for your craft building, cowgirl emoji, and special product to be announced after a future update. Leave your comments down below guessing what is the special product. I wonder what that's gonna be, but then as you can see in the 11th anniversary special shop, they are not gameplay item. We have emoji, we have skin, so I suspect that's gonna be like a building or something like that, or another skin for another building. Probably not gonna be something that's gonna affect your gameplay. The gameplay part is the red text, so the scroll part, and this is going to be the skin item. And then we have the standard shop for your mystical scroll and other progression related items, and we have the bonus shop so that if you keep farming for the whales who keep farming after they bite out every single thing here, then they can get more stuff like energy, return, mana stone, and other random stuff. This is gonna be the craft building skin. We have some new cool emoji, very adorable. I can already see that I'm gonna spam this when I lose an RTA. So far we have 5 LD scroll in the first event, 3 more in the second event, and we have 3 legendary O attribute, which is kind of an LD scroll as well in the second event. So overall, 11 LD scroll from these 2 events. Next up, we have the Legend Rune and Reappraisal Stone, 100 reapps. Dude, this might be really good. This is like your chance to get a couple quad speed. Okay, so you collect the 11-year emblem, and you're gonna do mission, and you're going to craft Legend Grindstone, Legend Gem, more Legend Grindstone, and more Legend Gem. Wait, where do you get the runes? Oh, here, per clear mission, you get 1 6-star legend rune, select type, and 1 event reappraisal stone. Event reappraisal stone. Event reappraisal stone can only be used on rune of the same type. So you probably can only use like 10 in violent, 10 in will, and the runes that you are getting will be random. So I saw on the official Discord server, people were spamming flat, and that's what it's gonna be. You're gonna get a whole lot of flat rune, and the special event reappraisal is gonna be like 10 for Vio, 10 for Will, 10 for Swift, so it's not gonna be like crazy. So it's okay, I guess. And lastly, the most important event is gonna be this one. 6-star Legend Rune Craft event. I swear to God, this is like the only time in the year where I get like a real upgrade in my rune. Maybe, and it's a maybe. It's not like a guarantee upgrade. It's a maybe upgrade. But for the past many years, this is the only time of the year when I get an actual rune upgrade. So we have the Craft 2 6-star Legend Rune powered up to +6. You can change their sub property and you can get 18 speed. Pretty much. Like the goal of the event is to get 18 speed and then take the rune, upgrade it, and pray you get 30 speed. And that's how I got my speed upgrade for so many of my set in the past many years. So it's going to be very similar to the previous year event as well, which means you can craft a vial or a wheel or a swift. They literally put vial wheel on there. And then you try to get the perfect substat. So let me show you what I got from the previous year. So for the previous year, this rune unlocks so many potential for me. So for the previous year, I went for a slot 6 swift accuracy because I was lacking in this department severely. And I got speed, I got attack, I got HP, and I think I got defense or whatever. But I roll 1 into speed. Perfect, right? 18 plus 6, and then I roll once into HP. I think that was like 6 plus 6. And I think I would have to change the defense, something more important. I didn't want to change the attack because I know I was going to put this on like a support character or a character that would not do crazy damage, and I want high overall stat. So I switched the defense to something higher because a support character would probably like to have more defense than higher attack. But overall, very good rune. I think this was another one that I got many years ago. So it was another swift rune. Then I upgrade once into speed. And then I think the auto roll went into accuracy. And then I upgrade the attack to +10. I'm not sure what happened here. It was many years ago. But now I have HP in there. I think I was either going for HP on like unit that doesn't need crit rate or crit rate on unit that needed crit rate. But with the current meta having so many units that can crit without the need for crit rate, like the Water Series or Miyang, I stick with a rune that had no crit rate, even though it is one of my fastest crit damage rune, and it has been one of the best rune on my account because I use that rune in particular every single day on unit like the Water Series or Tiana or Miyang. Very versatile rune. Amazing choice I made back then. But for people who don't want to gamble, I think getting a strong slot 2 is also really good. For example, something like look like this, because when you build a very fast unit, a lot of the time your substat in 1 to 6 is going to be speed except for slot 2. So everything will try to have as much speed as possible. And then you want to have grindable stat as well, like these that you're seeing right here. So most of the time you are missing out on crit rate or accuracy. So one of the most major way to deal with that is to try to find good accuracy or good critical rate in the slot 2. And if you don't want to gamble both your rune, because there's no guarantee that you're going to get quad speed in both rune, even if they roll 18, because they can roll twice into the HP or defense, and then you are stuck with 2 plus 18 rune that are going to be useless. If you don't want to gamble, then you can go for a slot 2. So for example, a vial slot 2 with high crit rate or high accuracy is going to be very usable for many different characters in the game when you need to build them tanky, fast, but still want a decent amount of accuracy. And a lot of accuracy and crit rate will be coming from slot 2. And that kind of build is even more prominent in character that awaken into stat. For example, Lamelia awaken into accuracy. So if you want to land the skill 3 all the time, you don't have to go for the accuracy slot 6. You can actually just go for speed, HP, and try to hit as many accuracy substat as possible in the other rune set. And having a good slot 2 that has either very good accuracy or having accuracy in other slot, which is not going to be good because you want to focus on getting HP, right? So if you have a good slot 2 with good accuracy, you can easily hit the accuracy requirement for her to land. Like if you don't have a rune like this to get most of your accuracy, if you focus on health, for example, for the slot 1, then you will lower your accuracy in the overall build. So having a good slot 2 with accuracy and then awaken into accuracy is going to allow her to get the majority of the accuracy she need and still can be built on speed, HP. And that is very important. So if you don't want to gamble, then go for some slot 2 with the high crit rate or the high accuracy build. If you are a new player and you are struggling to build PvE team because you don't do enough damage, then one of the options can be a rage rune. And that is amazing. So trying to get a rage or a wheel rune to build your Beliger, to build your Tashar. I think that's gonna go a long way because that's the kind of rune that will be stick on your damage dealer for a very, very long time. So get a Rage or Will rune with crit damage main stat, crit rate substat like plus 16, 18. Can you go 18? 18 crit rate substat, and then high attack, high defense, high speed, whatever. And it's gonna be very, very good for many different kind of PvE damage dealer that you're gonna use in the future because you definitely need one of those. You don't need the crazy Swift, you don't need the crazy Vial, but for PvE, it is all about the damage output. Damage check is going to be the one. So Rage or Will is going to be very, very good for early, mid-game PvE focused player. So overall, my conclusion from the event is around 11 LD scroll in the first two. And then we have a bunch of maybe you're going to get something good here, but you probably don't. And 2 runes that can potentially give me a huge upgrade. I think I'm going to go for Swift once again because honestly, if I can get a bit faster, that would be great. My fastest Swift set is very, very demoralizing because my fastest Swift on like a 111 base speed is like plus 223. Not the best. People are running around in C1 at like 230, 235 even. There's so many crazy Swift sets nowadays. I think the missing slot for me is either going to be slot 4 Swift or slot 6 Swift because I don't have any Swift rune in these 2 slots that go above 30 speed. So in slot 5, I have an energy rune. In slot 1, I have energy and will. So they're doing it kind of okay. But for slot 6 and 4, my Swift rune are very, very bad. So I might go for an HP slot 4 because my best rune, after so many rehab, I have put so many rehab in this rune, it is still very, very garbage. And my slot 6 also not the most amazing. So my best build for Swift is actually speed, crit damage, and accuracy, which is actually not amazing. I also have a secondary build which is going to be the speed, crit rate, accuracy. So it is very, I don't know, it's like in the middle of damage dealer and support character. You want speed, HP, accuracy, or like speed, crit rate, attack. Because my speed, crit rate, attack will be slower. And that is not good. Like, look at this. I think this was from an event as well. But then the speed didn't really go too well. And then I roll a 9% crit damage. That was very, very sad. So I might go for double Swift if that is allowed in the event. I'm not too sure. But it's either 1 Swift and maybe 1 Will. Because I never really farm Will runes. And my Will runes are okay. But I wouldn't say they are absolutely incredible. Actually, they're kind of not bad. But they don't break 30 speed. So I think getting a Will upgrade is going to be pretty good. My best Will is going to be slot 1. I think I actually farmed this one a long, long time ago. But look at my slot 5 Will. Like, oh my god, they're stuck at 27 speed. And that is sad. My slot 3 for Will is actually not too shabby. I got some decent one right there. But my slot 6 for Will and slot 5, really bad. So probably going to go for a slot 6 here to get a nice little upgrade. So if I can do 2 Swift, it can be Swift 4 and 6. If I can do Swift and Will, it is going to be Swift 6 or 4 and then Will 6. And that's going to be my plan for the rune crafting event. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. I'm very excited for the Legend Rune Craft event because I can gamble with my Swift rune and maybe get nothing out of it. Or maybe get a 30 Swift and then change everything forever. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.